This is devastating. Mr. Samuel Otasi, who lives in Bayelsa State, Nigeria, poisoned three of his sons after receiving a terrible prophecy from Josh Odogo Outstretched Ministry. Guys, buckle up because it's gonna be a long, long ride. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to hear today will shock you to your marrows. It is said that on Sunday, the 28th of September 2018, Mr. Samuel Otasi went to George Odogo Outstretched Ministry for service when he had this, terrible prophecy from the so-called man of God, George Odogu, that the recent man who has 3 children from his previous marriage, and these kids have been bewitched by their mother to bring down this man in a negative way, like to bring him down financially, health-wise, and all negative things you can think of. So without waste of time, Samuel automatically knew he was the one because he has 3 sons and he is divorced with their mom and things were not moving on for him. As a matter of fact, he has been sick for a long while. Immediately he got this prophecy, he became so furious. He sent, a message down to the village that those boys are wizards, and he himself addressed them as wizards. Now, sending such a message, guys, we all know how the society operates. If somebody's father can accuse them of witchcraft, what do you expect from the neighbors? Everybody automatically started avoiding these kids, and they were being, insulted at every given opportunity by their neighbors and friends. They could no longer go out to play with friends. Everyone isolated them. And this had a negative toll on them. They were affected psychologically. So as time went by, their dad went there that same week, to go take them for deliverance. So when he got there, he explained everything to their grandma, whom they lived with, that he was going to take the boys to George Odogo Outstretched Ministry for deliverance. So the grandmother, who was, excited to hear what the man of God will finally say about her grandkids to liberate them, because she doesn't believe they were wizards, gave the boys out to their dad in confidence. So when they went to the church, they were being told that deliverance service were not going on this particular day, and they were asked to come back on Wednesday, which was actually the official day for delivering service. So the man went back with these boys to the village and told them that he was going to come back on Wednesday to take them down to Joshua Douglas Outstretched Ministry for deliverance. And these boys were waiting impatiently because they really wanted to be delivered, if it is actually true that they were wizards, or they wanted to be vindicated from this, nightmare. They wanted the man of God to prove their innocence. So, their dad came there on Wednesday as promised, picked them up. Miracle, Samuel and God's way. Those were the names of his 3 boys. He picked them up with one of his relatives, Aya, to take them down to the church. However, while they were on the bus, somewhere along the road, the man asked the driver to drop them off. And these boys were a little bit confused because that was not their destination. So the dad and his brother took them into the bush, and when they got at a certain point where nobody was watching, nobody was, no one was around, he gave them sniper to ingest in their system. So these 3 boys, out of fear, ingested the sniper, and their dad took them into the bush and tied them up. The older son managed to crawl to the road where he was fortunate enough to be seen by an officer of the law. The officer quickly rushed him to the hospital because at the time when he was found, he was unconscious. So after some days, when he regained consciousness, he explained to the hospital staffs and the police vividly what transpired on that fateful day, and he said that his brothers were still in the bush. Unfortunately for them, by the time the police got there, they were no longer alive because the sniper has already penetrated, their system so bad. So immediately, their dad was arrested. And that was when he explained what actually transpired on that day. Listen, and I'll be right back.
Judge Otogo made a pronouncement in the church that I have some children and I'm not marrying the mother again. The mother have bewitched all my children to tarnish their life and to tarnish my family's life.
In September 2018, 42-year-old Samuel Sunday Otasi attended the church.
So guys, you all heard from Mr. Samuel Otasi. According to his explanation, he refused all this allegation. He said that he actually took his sons for deliverance and the man of God was not there. However, on this Wednesday, when they decided to go there, he sent them back to the village and asked his younger brother to take them back. And he doesn't know what transpired on the way. So this man is actually, denying this allegation. However, this young boy could recall all what happened, okay? And when the police got to the site where this crime took place, all the evidences, back up this young guy's explanation. So, unfortunately, for Mr. George, he couldn't convince the police enough. And right now, he and his brother are in police custody. And the grandmother of these children cried so bitterly. She explained that her son, she knows, is a good guy. He was not brought up in a violent way. She is shocked that her son could harm his own kids. And she blames the devil for everything, not her son. She claims that she doesn't believe her son was capable of doing such, a deadly act. And she says she believes the devil wants to tear her family apart. However, the deed has already been done. Guys, this is really so sad. With the way people are going about Christianity, or what I say religion, because I don't really get it. it is really so confusing because you have a lot of gullible Christians that when they listen to something, they don't even think twice because they see this man of God as God Himself. We all know the Bible says God reveals to redeem. If a man of God is able to give a prophecy, be it positively or negatively, he should be able to accompany this prophecy with a prayer to save you from this situation. However, Mr. George said the man of God asked him, or yes, or asked whosoever this prophecy is being directed to do away with his kids. Who does that? Even the Bible rebukes killing. The 10 Commandments say, thou shalt not kill. So why should a man of God ask you to go kill your kids? Are you that gullible and you believe he's a man of God? Why can't he pray? Why can't he pray for these kids, to be delivered from the witchcraft? So that alone was already a huge red flag, okay? And for other Christians out there, please remember, you can pray for yourself. And if you cannot pray for yourself, you think you can only go to the man of God to pray for you, then believe me, you are doing a huge mistake. Okay, because they are all humans and you do not even know what sins they commit, but you can trust yourself with your own prayers. Okay, may the souls of these 2 boys rest in perfect peace, and I pray God protects their brother who made it alive. Guys, please comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. If the pastor is to be blamed or this man. And it is also said that the pastor was not arrested, because there are no proofs to this. And even if there are proofs, he didn't commit this act, okay? So until then, see you on my next video. Bye-bye.